The House Oversight Subcommittee on National Security heard testimony today from witnesses who they accuse the Pentagon of a cover-up when it comes to UFOs. You have to wonder how much of this is like, hey, look over here so you don't talk about what's going on over here with Hunter Biden. I don't know, but there was a pretty explosive testimony, so I want to get your thoughts on it, you guys. I want to play for you. I believe this is David Grush, who is one of the whistleblowers who used to work closely in this arena. And he was asked if the United States government has recovered non-human entities from crashed UFOs. Here is that exchange. Watch.
Intelligent extraterrestrials.
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
Okay, I can't ask when you think this occurred. If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries, yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
And was this documentary evidence, this video, photos, eyewitness? Like, how would that be determined?
The specific documentation I would have to talk to you in a skiff about.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and you may or may not be able to answer my last question, and maybe we get into a skiff at the next hearing that we have, but who in the government, either what agency, sub-agency, what contractors, who should be called into the next hearing about UAPs, either in a public setting or even in a private setting? And you probably can't name names, but what agencies or organizations, contractors, et cetera, do we need to call in to get these questions answered, whether it's about funding, what programs are happening, and what's out there?
I can give you a specific cooperative and hostile witness list of specific individuals that were in those.
And how soon can we get that list?
I'm happy to provide that to you after the hearing.
Super, thank you, and I yield back.
So, any takers? Is there life out there?
Did you catch the phrase, what she said there? She said UAPs.
Yes.
UAPs. Have you heard this before?
They've changed it. It's now unidentified.
Anomalous phenomena.
Yes, yes.
Unidentified anomalous phenomena. I guess it's no longer acceptable to say UFO. That has too much baggage to it. So now they've come up with this new phrase right here. What I think is funny is that he can't answer half the questions, but he does answer the $1 million question that these biologics were non-human, and then says, but I can't tell you anything else about that. I mean, if that's the case, which, to be clear, I don't believe. I mean, unless it's a dog that, you know, that came back from some kind of Sputnik-like craft, or a monkey. Why would you answer that and then not answer all the other questions that are related to that? I don't follow the logic of something like this.
I do think it is weird that you're like, you're a whistleblower. You're coming forward to be like, I have damning evidence.
But I'm only kind of blowing the whistle.
Right, but I won't tell you all the evidence and details. Just some of them.
I'm whistling. I'm not actually using a whistle.
Yeah. Jason.
People are split on this, whether this is all a giant psyop.
Right.
A distraction.
Which it is.
Which it could be. Or
the timing is
something else. The timing is very convenient. And I was trying to remember the name of this documentary that I just watched. Came out maybe like 10 years ago or something like that.
Wag the Dog.
It's similar, but it's the documentary is about the government people that would go in to push a UFO narrative to hide actual military projects that they were working on. And it's very damning. There was one story about this guy that he lived close to an Air Force base, and he observed crazy stuff above the Air Force base. So he called it in. He was like, thought he was being a good citizen. It's like, hey, I think there's UFOs. Well, they were actually hiding, I think, stealth technology at the time. Yeah. But they hired this counterintelligence Air Force agent to go, yeah, you're doing your American job. Great job. Keep seeing what else you can find. Eventually, they drove this guy to suicide. Killed himself.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely insane. Well, at the end of this documentary, they say, okay, that was bullcrap. We did do this stuff, but yes, we do have some evidence of unidentified flying objects. Again, you don't know if it's a psyop part, if he's still playing that role, or if there is something. So I don't know. This whistleblower is legit. I followed him for a little while. He was high up in intelligence. I think actually worked with the DNI at some point. If you see a blown out portion of that of shot, I don't think we have, but DNI Clapper is sitting just off on the left side of him on the in the shot, and on the right side is like the guy that's representing him was like, I think, the assistant DNI or something like that. So he has legit people saying this guy is credible. I think that he's talking about, I think he's being honest. I think he's telling him exactly what he has heard, maybe documents he has seen. The problem is with all of these cases is it's not firsthand.
Yeah.
This is not firsthand knowledge to him. It's these guys told me. Oh, they told me this is where they're located. It's always something like that, and around we go.
But we're not going to reveal much in front of the American people or the public here in order to hide it from whom? The rest of the planet, or from the aliens themselves? I mean, this just simply makes no sense to me. To me, this is all a big psyop. This is the shiny object that is being dangled to prevent us from asking the hard questions about Hunter Biden, money laundering in Ukraine, child trafficking, sex trafficking, all the corruption within the Biden White House's own mental state of health. All of these things. It's just to me, it's just a big psyop.
I won't go that far. I think that there is evidence of it being a psyop, and I just described one in the past. So there is evidence of that. But I don't know. There's always a little bit of truth in some of these things. There are unexplained things out there. I don't know.
Okay, it's so funny, Jason, because
aliens are real.
That's why I've been dying for someone to like fully believe, like, yes, aliens are real. I think they exist. And I've never had anyone. I mean, I think it was Yaku and Chad Prather. And I was just like, all right, someone go down the rabbit hole and they're like, nah, they're just demons. I don't believe it. And I'm
really?
like, I just want someone to tell me that they think
they're
aliens
out there.
are real.
He's close.
Yes. Okay, so
I
want to play one more clip, one more quick clip of what is it, Grush? He was talking about people being physically harmed by alien beings.
And they have pictures of Bigfoot.
Stop it, Larry. Okay, watch.
At one point, you had said that there has been harmful activity or aggressive activity. Has any of the activity been aggressive, been hostile in your reports?
I know of multiple colleagues of mine that got physically injured, and the activity. And
by UAPs or by people within the federal government?
Both.
Okay, so there has been activity by alien or non-human technology and or beings that has caused harm to humans.
I can't get into the specifics in an open environment.
Why?
I mean, come
At
on.
least the activity that I personally witnessed, and I have to be very careful here because they tell you never to acknowledge tradecraft, right? So what I personally witnessed, myself and my wife, was very disturbing.
Wife.
Was it the anal probe? I heard those hurt. I wouldn't know. I just heard that those hurt. All right, so we don't know.
Not if you wear Tommy John.
When you wear Tommy John, even anal probes are comfortable. Well, go ahead, last
My
word.
closing point on this is I think there is actual cases of alien life that have visited this planet. I think there is. Maybe I'm too big of a sci-fi nerd, maybe.
It's the anal probes.
But I still believe it's the anal probes. But I do believe that. But there is such a history of our government misleading with this information. It is impossible to tell what is real and what's not real anymore. It's impossible.
Yeah.
If you like that clip, there is plenty more where that came from. Click the link in the description below to subscribe to the News and Why It Matters YouTube channel to watch the full episode.